everybody? Welcome back to the channel. We're doing another Attack on Titan first impressions breakdown analysis. This is the series in which I do just that. I give my first impressions and a light analysis on the episode. This episode got delayed a week because of the earthquakes that took place in Japan, and I just want to send out, my thoughts out to those people wherever you may be. If you're watching or not, it's a very sad thing, and I held off on a week from doing the video. I didn't want to do it because I didn't want to spoil the people that don't have access to other ways of attaining this episode, but I actually did this video in advance. So later on today, maybe 30 or 40 minutes after you see this video, you will see the next video for episode 15 coming out. So with all of that out of the way, let's get right into it. So this episode was just actually off the charts. It was insane. I did not expect a quarter of the things to happen in this episode. I thought it was totally going to go a different direction, but it went this direction. You know what's funny? I started rewatching Attack on Titan season 1, the first 8 episodes. By the way, much better of a season than I remember, especially the English dub. I used to hate that English dub. But anyways, lots of stuff from season 1 appearing in this final season so far. If you haven't already, go back, check out some of those early episodes of Attack on Titan season 1 because you will notice it. So the reunion of friends begins. Eren, Armin, Mikasa, Gabby's there. By the way, her facial expressions this whole episode was amazing. She was just in shock the whole time. She wasn't even moving. She just had this look on her face like she didn't know what to do. Like the ghost of herself left her body. Just not even there anymore. Just totally just fucking clocked out, man. She's gone. The first thing Eren says sends just shivers down my spine. We don't need to fight to solve Eldia's problems. And then he says that he is free when Armin asks, are you brainwashed by Yelena and Zeke? Oh man, there's so much stuff to talk about in this scene. This has been the big topic. Is Eren brainwashed? And I never really believed that he was 100% brainwashed. There obviously has to be somebody in there, even if he was brainwashed, to go along with these things, I think. But even then, how would Zeke and Yelena be able to brainwash Eren? To me, it seems pretty obvious what the direction is going in. For Eren to say that he's free and to go on to say the things that he says here, it really seems like Eren bought into this plan that Zeke has because Eren sees Zeke's plan as the best plan that may involve killing some people that he doesn't want to kill, or that may involve him awakening to the person that Eren was always meant to be, or waking up to the reality of who he actually is. The person that we didn't expect to see when we saw Eren in season 1 or season 2 or even season 3. Eren reveals that Zeke knows more about the Titans than Marley. If he knows all of this, then that must mean that his plan is so crazy. He says this later in the episode. If he were to tell Levi his plan, it's not like he would understand anyways. And I think that's because this plan requires this overflowing knowledge that Zeke has about the Titans and about history that nobody else has, that you can't simply comprehend it. It's like somebody going back in time saying, yeah, there's going to be like iPhones and Android devices and consoles, and you can stream games from satellite in the sky at super high resolutions. So that really makes me excited to see what exactly Zeke's plan is. I think it's going to be a big moment. I think a lot of things are going to come together. A lot of change is going to happen. So Eren reveals that essentially part of Armin has turned into Berthold. And so this would generally explain why Armin is always in that room with Annie, because in a sense, a part of Berthold is Armin, and so he has this connection to Annie that maybe is more deeply rooted in romance. Because as we've seen before in season 1, Armin didn't have very much of a connection with Annie. And I always just saw it as Armin just yearned to go back to those days where it was much simpler. That's how I always saw it. Now, it definitely could still be that way. Now, there could be a future where, yes, Zeke was brainwashing Eren, but do I think it's going to go that way? Likely not. But the next stuff is even crazier. Eren reveals a bombshell about Mikasa's character, and that's going to be the subject of Wednesday's video. We're going to go all into this stuff because this is actually just crazy to go back and look back at all of these scenes with Mikasa and Eren and use this knowledge and apply it to those scenes. So we're going to do a video all about that Wednesday. But Mikasa essentially exists only to follow orders, and that's because the Ackermans were created to obviously protect the king. Their bloodline, their heritage is rooted in this will to protect the king. Because there is no more king anymore, all she can do is only follow orders. And to Eren, that makes her a slave and someone who doesn't have any free will, because Eren hates people who doesn't have free will. And then the craziest thing happens. Eren said that he's always hated Mikasa because Mikasa has no free will. That always pissed him off. Now, always and forever, there has been this weird connection between Eren and Mikasa. It's become a joke. Eren just ignores Mikasa. Mikasa so obviously has this fascination, this infatuation almost for Eren. It made sense in season 1 why you would think that. Eren saved Mikasa, or rather, Eren awakened Mikasa's abilities to protect. Now, Mikasa can only protect Eren, and guess what? We see this firsthand when Armin jumps the table and Mikasa stops Armin. That's a firsthand example of Mikasa's bloodline and work here. So it's true what Mikasa is. That's really heartbreaking. It's not heartbreaking because, oh, Mikasa is never going to get with Eren. It's heartbreaking because we've never really seen Mikasa be her own person, and that's just simply for the fact that the reason she was created was never to be a free-willed person. She was never created with the intent to be a normal human like you and I or any of the other people in AOT. She was created to be, like Eren said, a slave. And that's a really bitter pill to swallow. Obviously, Armin is so mad by this, calls Eren the real slave, why he would only come here to just further hurt Mikasa's feelings. I think Mikasa does truly love Eren, but I also think because of these revelations of Mikasa's character, I think she's second guessing everything she ever felt about this person, everything she ever felt about Armin, everything she ever felt about anyone. That isn't, something that's good for a person. And it actually reminds me of BioShock. If you guys ever played the original BioShock from 2007, it's a great, fantastic game. Going to spoil it here, so if you haven't played it, you just skip 40 or 50 seconds into the video or whatever. The character that you are playing is a puppet, a slave that will follow any order as long as you say, "Would you kindly?" He was created in a test tube and he was artificially aged and he was made to follow orders, be a slave. And that really reminds me of what Mikasa is. Then Eren and Armin get into a fight and Eren says, "You know why we never fought, Armin? Because it just wouldn't be fair," and just beats the shit out of Armin. And I'm just like, I hate you, Eren, but I love you. You're such a badass. It's one of those things where I think Eren's character will start to be likable again by the end of this series because Eren knows more. To him, his actions seem crass, they seem really hateful, they seem really mean, but he's probably only doing what he's doing because he knows that it's the right choice and gotta rip the band-aid off. It's one of those things. He says to bring all of them with them, even Gabby, because they're going to Shinganshina. I don't know what's going to happen in Shinganshina. That's going to be fucking insane. And speaking of insane, this next scene has some amazing action in it. But it starts with Levi. He wants to kill Zeke. He just wants to feed him to one of the Jaegerists. And so Zeke just fucking runs away, uses his ability to turn them all into Titans. It apparently has a delayed effect, so that wine was spinal fluid. It works so well that at such a far range away, everybody felt tingling through their whole body and froze for a moment, including Falco. So it is confirmed that Falco is potentially going to become a Titan, which is really sad because I really like Falco. All of Levi's subordinates get turned into Titans, and Zeke thought, oh, well, you're not going to kill your subordinates, Levi. Levi kills his subordinates. You could tell he really doesn't want to. This is the cool thing about Levi. On the exterior, Levi is a hard ass. He is somebody who takes no gruff. He seemingly some guy who doesn't really care about many people, but in reality, deep down inside, he just wants to see what's right, and he wants to see all of his friends, all of his subordinates happy. You can go back to season 1 and you can see examples of this, which I think is really good writing. He's been so consistent throughout the whole series. And then Zeke says some stuff during his escape that all the military forces of the world are coming to Paradis, and even if Zeke told Levi, he wouldn't understand his plans anyways. And he says, do you remember where we will meet? In reference to Eren. So that makes me think they're going to meet in Shiganshina in the cellar. Why the cellar specifically? Why I picked that? I think it's just symbolic. It's where it all started. This is where the season is going to end, where it all started. And we get to see Levi come back, and Zeke is like, oh, come on, which is really great because Levi is just an unstoppable killing machine, and Levi wins again, because of course he does. It's Levi. But before that, this awesome fight, Zeke takes the bits of this Titan, that was Levi's subordinates, of course, rips him in half and just throws a bunch of chunks at him. And even then, Levi is just unstoppable. I'm convinced, absolutely convinced, there is no one that can stop Levi. Or Mikasa. The Ackermans are insane. So, now we get on to the last scene of this episode. So, we see Shadis training his cadets as per usual, but there's some murmuring amongst all of the cadets. Apparently the whole Jaegerist thing is getting around, and it seems to be a movement that's growing popular amongst them, which isn't a very good thing at all when you have the people that you're training to defend the ideals of your country, or humanity in this case, believes in. It becomes a problem when they're believing in a certain figure that goes against many of those core principles of the established values of Paradis. Flock arrives and basically tells the cadets who agree to become Jaegerists to beat Shadis. And what I love about this is Shadis is like, those children won't be able to beat me. And of course they beat the crap out of him because, you know, he's an old man at this point and, you know, not a one-on-one fight. But I think the way this scene ends with seeing Hanj, she looks so sad. That really puts into perspective the ways of the old are going away. It seems that Eren Yeager has his new way of doing this and moving forward, which seems to be take things over. I'm not sure how Eren Yeager would do things differently than what Shadis is doing. Maybe it's just, I don't know, lays around and if you want to become a soldier or something. Like, I don't know what way makes Eren's way better, but we'll have to see. Then we see Zeke wakes up. His first sight is Levi. For Zeke is probably not a good sight. It's very obvious they do not like each other, especially Levi, who starts slicing off little slices of his legs, starting at his feet, which is very, very disturbing. But at the same time, Zeke did kind of have it coming to him. So Levi put a thunder spear inside of Zeke's stomach, and if he moves at all, he's gonna blow up. Assume Levi will blow up too, but the point is yeah, there's mutually assured self-destruction here, but Zeke doesn't want to die because he still has this mission to do. And he asks Levi where his glasses are, and we see a flashback to him with Dr. Kavas, I believe? Kavase? Not really sure how to pronounce his name. Somebody put in the comments below, help me out if you would. They're playing ball back and forth, and that's where he got those glasses. So I don't know if he was shown in season 3, I can't remember, but he seems like a very important figure in Zeke's young life. And it's likely his memories of him that likely gets him through a lot of what he has to do on a day-to-day basis. Either way, it is a fantastic moment for Zeke, and I'm really excited for the next episode. Based off all what we talked about here today, this next episode is going to look amazing. Like I said, check back in 20-30 minutes after this video goes up. I will likely have the video for episode 15 already out, so definitely look forward to that. But as well, today, the King of Anime podcast will be going live with a special episode covering the 2 most recent episodes of Attack on Titan. So you're getting 3 videos today, guys. You're getting 2 regular AOT videos from me, and as well, you're getting an extra King of Anime podcast covering the new AOT episodes. Of course, we're going to have a live chat. We're going to have a party, a pizza party. Not really, but we're going to have fun over there. So definitely make sure to come and check that out. But if you haven't already, comment what you thought about this episode. This was a pretty great episode in my opinion. Give this video a like, subscribe, ring the bell. I got a Patreon, all of that cool stuff. You already know the deal. Support me if you can. Thank you all for watching. See you guys later. Bye-bye.